Can I get this poor excuse for an allotment 100% self-sufficient by July this year? And judging by how it looked in December, you'd probably have to go with a hard no. But because I like a challenge and I'm a little bit silly, this is exactly what I'm going to try and do. But first, I'm going to explain to you why I'm so optimistic. This is what the allotment used to look like when I first found it, and with a little bit of sweat and a few tools we managed to get this all sorted and try and get back to something which would resemble a blank slate so the plans could really start to flourish. So using some free timber that I managed to acquire from a friend, it was time to construct some raised beds and a compost bin. So with a lick of paint, a few nails and a few screws and a little bit of creativity using some recycled materials, this place started to resemble somewhere that might just be possible for me to grow all of my food. And so far, everything seems to be going perfectly well, other than the two biggest challenges. One, trying to find time to actually get down to the allotment to keep it in order, and two, filling up these raised beds without it costing an absolute arm and a leg. The first of these problems I think will solve itself because my challenge is to grow all of my food for July on the allotment, and there's nothing like the risk of starving to death to motivate a man into action, especially this man. And the second of these problems I managed to solve primarily by getting compost and soil from absolutely anywhere and everywhere that was either free or insanely cheap, basically because I did not want to be one of those gardeners showing you a trug of fresh fruits and vegetables that cost the equivalent of £700. Which brings us on nicely to the challenge. And the challenge is to grow 100% of the food that I eat for the entire month of July. And the rules are, I will only eat what I can grow at this allotment. Zero food is going to be purchased from the shop. No milk, no eggs, no bread, no nothing. Literally, if I don't grow it, I won't eat it. Rule 2 is one added caveat: if I can barter or swap food with someone else on this allotment, because I think that's quite traditional and it's the way our ancestors would have done it. Rule number 3, all I'm going to be using is a large tub of salt and tap water, and that's mainly going to be used for cooking this food. And finally, rule number 4, I am also going to allow myself to forage for wild food when they're available, and the only place I won't be foraging is the shop. So, those are the rules. It's quite straightforward, and I can see one of two things happening in July. One, I'm going to be successful, and I'm going to learn a lot about my dream of being self-sufficient one day. Or two, Martin the garden guy is going to get a whole lot thinner this year. So that's it, it's time to get cracking now, making that dream a reality. The first job I've got planned today is finishing off these compost bins. The main reason for this is the compost is going to be number 1 in fertilising all of these beds. I don't intend to be buying absolutely anything to put down, especially no chemical fertilisers. I'm only going to be using what I can make. So getting these compost bins sorted is priority number 1. I really need the temperature of these to be a lot higher because I need to make this compost really fast. So let's get cracking. Well, that's one compost bin finished off. You might notice that it's actually a dual compost bin, so there's still a little bit more work to do on that. Now we're going to move over to this bed where I'm growing some field beans and some peas, and I've got them closhed up. I've got some winter protection on them. Spoiler alert, it wasn't enough winter protection, but we're going to find that out in January. Or more precisely, you guys will find out next week on Friday, where we're going to learn about the damage that winter storms can do to an allotment. Now I've managed to waste a little bit of time weeding through my beans and peas. We're going to move on to strawberries. I do like strawberries, as do my kids. The best thing I like about them, other than the taste, is these are fully winter hardy and they will deal with anything that the UK weather can throw at them. And fingers crossed, these are going to be ready for July, which means I'll get to eat some strawberries so I can have some pudding after my potato soup, which is all I'll be eating if everything goes horribly wrong. The biggest challenge, though, with these strawberries is trying to get them before my children eat them all. I'm not sure if that makes me a bad dad or not. So I've still got a lot of these raised beds that need a really thorough weed, but that's okay, I really like weeding. But now it's time to get some shallots, onions and garlic planted, because this is going to be the mainstay of flavour for my cooking in July. And again, these are all quite hardy, and with just a little bit of winter protection, they should do really well until next year. Planting these is pretty straightforward. I just need to weed this bed through first before I put the doing it again, before I put the winter protection over these, and then I'll remove that next year when the soil starts to warm up again. Although I keep saying next year, it will be next week for you guys. Well, that's almost it for today, and until next week's video where things are going to start progressing a lot faster. You need to remember that I'm going to have to grow about 75,000 calories in July, and that's just to maintain my current body weight. There's still lots to do. A lot of these raised beds still need filling with soil. I need to finish off the compost bins and also build a polytunnel for my tomatoes and cucumbers that I will be growing. But beside that, we're going to be growing potatoes, leeks, kale, chard, lettuce, turnips, Jerusalem artichokes, peas and beans, beetroot, and lots of other things. I really hope you can join me on this adventure where I'm going to be doing a lot of allotment videos around this challenge, but I'm also going to be making my usual gardening content as well. And if you haven't signed up to my newsletter yet, please do. And if you have signed up, please check your spam folder for the first newsletter, because that's where the first one will go until you mark it otherwise. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.